Grey Cup coming up tonight. Argos will clinch the playoff spot in the East against the Eskimos. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. The Eskimos getting off the schneid. And it is Pink Month. Breast cancer awareness. A lot of players wearing the pink. And there goes Andrew Harris with his biggest run so far. And will this be the year that we've seen something that we've never seen before in the Canadian Football League? There is a good chance that Andrew Harris could become the first 1,000-yard receiver, 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, on pace to go over 1,000 yards in both categories this season. Also on pace to set a CFL record for receptions by a running back in a season. Timothy Flanders, by the way, now on the 6-game injured list, which could lead to more touches for Harris going forward.
Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage this time on first down. So the numbers for Andrew Harris in terms of pace through week 16, he needs to average 45 rush yards and 54 receiving yards. Just to let you know, he has been under 46 yards rushing in a game 6 times this season and under 55 receiving 7 times. But as you mentioned, many of those games, Timothy Flanders was involved and did not see the ball as much. Nichols now. Connecting over the top. Right near the midfield stripe. Damian Washington. Damian Washington started the season for the Blue Bombers in his first game at a touchdown. Played the first 3 games and then has been on the practice roster since. Now swinging it out once more. Back in the lineup for the Blue Bombers is Julian Feoli-Godino, and so these guys are probably going to get a few more touches and reps as well. You're going to see more of the Damian Washington as well because Darvin Adams is out of this ball game, it looks like.
Yeah, Washington initially listed as one of the designated internationals for Winnipeg, meaning he'd be a non-starter, would be a situational player, contribute on special teams as well. But yeah, suddenly being pressed into action offensively with the Bombers' leading receiver going down.
Second and short yardage. They get that first down. And the Lions thought it was a loose football. Still think it was a loose football. Mikael Brooks came up with it, but not according to the officials. Signaling first down. They'll move the sticks. Bombers go no huddle here. Nichols, that glove on, and out of the backfield, it's Chris Normand. Tracked down. Brought down near the line of scrimmage. Buddy Jackson got to Christophe Normand.
Well, credit the pursuit of the second and third levels of BC's defense for shutting this play down. You see Solomon Elimimian tracking that one all the way. The Bombers had lured the BC defensive line in perfectly to set up that screen.
Bombers second in the league. Looks like offside, maybe a free shot here. They go over the top. And Andrew Harris adds to those receiving yards. And a first down. Bombers second in the CFL coming into this week on second down.
Offside. BC number 4. That penalty decline. Result of the play, first down.
Decline, give the Harris the yardage as well. Tom Valese is our referee today here in Winnipeg.
See the Bombers getting Andrew Harris, their running back, terrific receiver, matched up in space against middle linebacker Solomon Elimimian that time.
2.5 to go, first quarter. Bombers up 7 thanks to a punt return. Nichols turning now, avoiding the rush, and then now he goes down. And he is brought down and sacked. Alex Bazzi spent some time early in this season trying to secure employment in the National Football League. Arizona Cardinals back with the Lions. Has his second sack since returning.
And you certainly get a feel for why the BC Lions felt they needed to get this guy back in their lineup. Among the league leaders in sacks over his previous seasons in the Canadian Football League.
Deep drop now. Nichols throws it out of harm's way. Just got it past the line of scrimmage. So rather than go where everyone was covered, Matt Nichols throws it away. And Justin Medlock will look to extend the lead. This Winnipeg team that over the last 2 games did not score points in the first quarter and only had 2 first quarter points over the last 7 games. Both of these teams have been notorious slow starters over the last couple of months.
I would say that's a stat that has affected one of the 2 teams, the BC Lions, certainly a lot more than Winnipeg.
Justin Medlock, who has struggled outside the 40-yard line this season, uncharacteristically. Not this time. Down Main Street. 10-0 Winnipeg. So the Bombers moving the football, and the left leg of Justin Medlock just gets it over that crossbar.
I'm Jeff from Kelowna, and like many good Tim Hortons drinking Canadians, I've got a hockey dream. I've just netted the OT winner in Game 7, and Nate McKinnon looks at me and says,
"You played like a champ tonight, Jeff from Kelowna. You deserve this more than me."
And then Sidney Crosby looks over and says, "Take mine too, champ."
Some hockey dreams might be a little out of reach, but some aren't, like collecting every Tim Hortons NHL trading card. Look out for one of 87 signed Crosby cards and get a pack of 3 for $1 with the purchase of any beverage.
At Pure Later, a package is never just a package. It's a promise. A commitment to causes bigger than yourself. And every once in a while, it's something that could even change a life. At Pure Later, every package we deliver is a promise kept.
Such a great start to the season, and since that time the BC Lions have been struggling, and Jonathan Jennings knows right now it's really must-win territory.
It's a playoff type game. All these games for the next 4 games are SO, and we really have to go in there. You know, if we don't win, we don't give ourselves a shot. We got to go in there and win, and you know, the rest will play out as it does. But we got to make sure that we're taking control of what we can, and you know, from that point on, we'll let the cards play out as they do.
Well, those cards are stacked against the BC Lions right now, last in the West at 6 and 8. Right now chasing Saskatchewan and Edmonton.
Well, now they're mired in this 1-6 stretch. But interesting to note, the last time BC endured a 1-6 stretch.
I think they won the Grey Cup, did they not?
I'm pretty sure they did. 2011, a 1-6 start to the season. That was
early in the season, and now, you know, this is not really in their hands. They can't control their own destiny. They have to watch the Riders and the Eskimos. Good tackle on Rainey. And it looks like it's Mike Miller down. Mike Miller and Jesse Briggs and that entire Winnipeg secondary. Special teams unit here tonight doing a job.
Here they are. 14 games played. First 7, 5-2 record. Last 7, 1-6 record. You look at the numbers, you can see why the turnovers, takeaway, giveaway ratio. That's the one that stands out to me. This is a team that has gone 3 games without a single takeaway defensively.
Double tight end coverage. And the Bombers cover again on Jeremiah Johnson. They keep running this sort of wildcat offense. Not this time. BC just can't get out of its own zone right now.
Well, we'll see if they get creative off of this. You'll see Brian Burnham come the other way as Jeremiah Johnson takes a direct snap and goes to his right. Could be setting up some kind of reverse. He had a little bit of a fake handoff there as Johnson and Burnham cross. So as the defense now starts to react and maybe over-pursue to the front side on that play, look for something coming back in the opposite direction.
Bombers show blitz. Here they come, dumping it off to Manny Arsenault, and he strides out and is chopped down by Mo Leggett. Looks like it's a first down, though, for Emmanuel Arsenault. 30 seconds to go in this opening quarter.
The opportunity created to get the ball in the hands of one of your receivers. In the screen game, when you use those guys in the protection scheme, just coming in on the backside to help block. Just another way to get the ball in the hands.
Loads of movement on the line. Might have been procedure here. The Lions are saying the Bombers jumped.
Procedure. BC number 50. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Lions just haven't been able to get out of their own end here in this first quarter. Usual in Winnipeg. Bundled up today, but still making tons of noise. Blitz again. Jennings goes deep downtown here. Trying to run underneath it is Chris Williams, who was looking for a call, did not get it. And good thing that Jonathan Jennings got rid of that football. Otherwise, he might have been knocked into tomorrow. Bombers lead 10-0. Big play so far. Punt return touchdown by this guy, Kevin Fogg. 1 quarter complete at Investors Group Field.
Mom!
You did even fight her?
No, I'm not a masochist, Jack.
Who would have thought that Randall would be the one to get into private school?
What does that mean?
I'm not gonna let this stupid knee screw up the rest of my life. Let me hear your battle cry.
We have to have a real sit-down talk about this. Stop!
She already doesn't like it here, Beth. She hit you hard? She didn't hit her.
New This Is Us, Tuesday, 9/10 Mountain on CTV.
I will make my farm a true reflection of me. A public display of my passion. There's so much riding on every field, every decision. I've learned to place my respect where it is deserved, and my trust where it is earned. And to be honest, as much as this place depends on me, we all depend on it. I will take pride.
Tell the competition they better not sleep. What we gonna do? Gonna bring back touchdown. They've done it again. Tell the competition they better not sleep. What we gonna do? Gonna bring back.
Second meeting of the season between two close rivals. They'll actually play twice in 14 days, both times here in Winnipeg, the Lions and the Blue Bombers. And by the way, the BC Lions in jeopardy of being out of the playoffs for the first time in 2 decades. Not since 1996 have they not been in the postseason. That is a remarkable, remarkable record.
Yeah, it really is. And these two teams, as you mentioned, playing each other today, will have a lot to say in terms of each other's postseason destinies. Meeting again, both teams have 4 games left, so neither one of them have a bye remaining. So 4 games left, 2 of those games going head-to-head.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers, of course, looking to secure a home field date, coming in with a 10-4 record. Jonathan Jennings changes the play here now. Now back to pass. Jennings looking one way, now the other, and out of the backfield. And bringing the ball up near the 47-yard line. His first touch of the ball game is Brian Burnham, so well short of a first down. Jonathan Jennings was looking one way, went through about 4 reads, and his only outlet was number 16.
Yeah, Jennings forced to step up. If you watch off the left, Tristan Opolugo comes off that edge. That forces him up. And eventually, just has to settle for that check down to Burnham coming across the middle.
Guy who's changed the game early on here is back to return. Kevin Fogg after his first CFL Return touchdown. Corral this time near the 22. Let's go down to the sideline once again with an injury update. Here's Sarah.
Well, Rod, Darvin Adams has changed from questionable to return to being done for the game right now. He's in a hoodie on the sideline, sitting on the bench. He's got his left arm taken out of the hoodie, so I'm not sure if it's in a sling, but that's what it appears to be. But Matt Nichols without his 1,000-yard receiver.
That is not good news. Well, for the Bombers.
That hit he took from Anthony Thompson across the middle. When it looked like a hockey body check. It was literally shoulder to shoulder. And that's exactly the area on Adams, as Sarah talked about, that was injured.
Nichols to Harris, out of the backfield, stiff arm, and the former BC Lion is roughed up out of bounds. A couple of those now they've let go. Let's take a look at this shot that knocked Darvin Adams out of the ballgame.
Yeah, watch the collision. It's directly shoulder to shoulder. He took all of that impact.
Holding that
right
arm
to the shoulder, arm area, yeah.
Again, Matt Nichols, who with that hand last week, wearing the glove. Rarely wears the glove. Now he is smothered. Swarmed and sacked.
That's Josh Shirley. Shirley working against Jamarcus Hardrick. Just managed to stay alive as coverage forced Nichols to hold on to that football.
BC Lions should get their best field position so far. The ball game early here in this second quarter. Justin Medlock launched near his 7. Here's Rainey. Chris Rainey trying to pull a Kevin Fogg here. But a good starting point nonetheless. BC's defense does the job. Jonathan Jennings will come out. And they'll start at their own 50. Sack from Josh Shirley. His 3rd of the season for the BC Lions. Needing a win here today in Winnipeg.
Has ranked highest in initial quality by J.D. Power, receiving more awards than any other brand. So we're bringing you the Top Quality Celebration event. Visit your Kia dealer and experience the quality for yourself. Go to kia.ca for great offers.
What do newcomers bring to Canada? Beauty. Laughter. Pride. And, in J.W. Sobeys' case, grocery stores. For 150 years, newcomer families have brought a lot to Canada. The Sobey family is humbled to have been one of them.
Our rum. Our bars. Our way of saying, you're invited. At the Appleton Estate, we are rum people.
Everyone needs a little comfort, like Tim Hortons' new artisan-style grilled cheese sandwich. Warm, cheesy goodness inside an artisan-style sandwich with an extra layer of melted cheese on top. Because being away at school shouldn't mean you can't have lunch with Dad. Perfect with our new tomato Parmesan soup.
You don't have to tell Wally Buono that fame is fleeting in the Canadian Football League. Great start, and suddenly lately they have nosedived. Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Sarah.
Well, they're coming in, Rod, off of such a disappointing loss last week to the Ottawa Red Blacks. Wally Buono saying that the message hasn't really changed, that they need to execute better, be able to ride the momentum and ebbs and flows, be able to deal with the adversity. He said he's appealed to their pride and professionalism. They know that their backs are against the wall. Manny Arsenault came into this game, though, saying tomorrow's game will not be close. It will not be a nail-biter. It won't. I've just got a feeling, hopefully, it's in our favor. Now, he was the only player on both sides that we spoke to that said they thought that this was going to be a lopsided game because, as you know, when you look at the last 4 games between these two clubs dating back to last season, they have been very close affairs. But the BC Lions certainly reeling this season. They say, many of them, that this is the most disappointing season that they've been a part of so far.
You're right, Sarah. Maddie said yesterday, what do you have to do? Show up, take care of business, get out. Right now it's not close. Winnipeg up 10-0. Second and 6. Physical ball game so far. Great call here. Jeremiah Johnson scoots out near the 40. Is it my imagination that there have been a lot of plays out of bounds? Normally you'd see that flag come up. We've seen about 3 or 4 right now that have been borderline. Not on that play, but the one that was previous.
Yeah, it's almost as if they've given a bit of a grace area here. This time going with the quick handoff rather than the direct snap. Johnson did a nice job to avoid Sam Hurl.
Winnipeg had a personnel issue just now, but they were able to get the players off the field in time. I'm not sure they got enough out there. Chris Williams stopped in his tracks near the 39-yard line. Now they're able to bring in their subs.
Here you'll see Chris Williams. This is bread and butter stuff for him, using his speed not just on deep routes, but also to outrun people across the field. Nice job by Brian Walker in space against one of the CFL's quickest players to bring him down.
Good year for Brian Walker. Came to a mini camp, earned a job. It's been outstanding. Jennings swarmed now, and he's going down. Jonathan Jennings gets sacked here.
Jennings absolutely swarmed here. It's going to be Santos Knox coming from the offensive right side on that inside loop that leads the pack. But you see at least 3 blue jerseys piled up on top of the BC quarterback.
That was a triple header sack. This ball near the goal line, and Kevin Fogg probably should have just let that ball go. Shutouts intact, but that's one time where they should have given up one. Matt Nichols brings that sore hand, that modified glove, but his offense back on the field. Long field though, up 10.
What happens when you combine quality, value, and standard Toyota safety sets? A lineup that everybody notices. It's the Toyota Clear Out event. Get a remaining 2017 vehicle today. But hurry, these great offers won't last long.
Same hotel, same price? No. There's a bunch of different prices out there all over the internet. Trivago instantly compares them to find your ideal hotel for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
With Bel Air Direct, it pays to be a good driver. You can save up to 25% on your car insurance.
That's amazing.
Congrats! You get an A for accelerating smoothly. And how would you like to celebrate with up to 25% off your car insurance?
That'd be great.
Good driver! You're a good driver! Woo!
Isn't it time you got rewarded? Switch to Bel Air Direct and save. More savings this way!
Get rewarded. Call or visit BelAirDirect.com.
Matt Nichols, questionable for some this week, wondering about that hand, but let's go down to Sarah with more on the glove and the hand of Matt Nichols.
Well, Rod Matt said that he was concerned himself when the injury first happened in the first half of last week's game against Hamilton. As you mentioned, so he is wearing a modified glove, so it covers the ring finger and the pinky finger on his throwing hand, but leaves obviously thumb, index, and middle finger exposed. He says that he needed a little bit of extra grip, which is why he's going with the glove, but he doesn't like it. Rarely uses one, actually almost never does, and says he doesn't fully trust it. So he said, though, that if there was any sort of issue with it getting wet, which thankfully the weather has held off on his half, that he would have to change it. But he's wearing it right now, and he said, if it gets the job done, I am willing to wear a goofy glove. I will do anything to help this club.
So you're saying that's a goofy glove? Got a golf glove that looks like that. So you can see he doesn't like that index finger to be gloved or to be covered because he feels it sticks to the ball at times. Andrew Harris spinning, but Chandler Fenner is there, and Fenner previously going offside on that earlier play, and so there it is. Glove, no glove, whatever. Matt Nichols has been an incredible story here for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers over the last year. Ever since he was acquired by Kyle Walters and the Bombers from the Edmonton Eskimos, he's been a winner.
Well, he sure has. Matt Nichols posting back-to-back 10-win seasons as the quarterback here in Winnipeg, first to do it since Kahari Jones.
Harris bucket down on second down and short of a first down, and this BC Lion defense now starting to pick it up. Micah Awe, Texas Tech Red Raider. Big hitters in this league, making another big hit here.
A guy who's certainly carved out a reputation for himself as a physical player. Certainly a guy some would say plays on the edge, but I love the way Awe plays the game.
Another good opportunity for the Lions to get good field position. They still have to crack the scoreboard, though. Justin Medlock, and that play clock down. Drives one, bit of a breeze this time. Sends Rainey back to his 45. Picks his way up into Winnipeg territory, and their best starting point for the BC Lions. Starting point, but they need some points. Up to that guy, Jonathan Jennings. His offense on the field in a moment.
With Chef's Plate, get fresh ingredients and step-by-step recipes delivered to your door, so you can spend more time with those that matter most. Get $30 off your first order at chefsplate.com/cook.
The animals are coming. So, be ready. At Fountain Tire, get a set of 4 select Goodyear tires for the price of 3. Offer ends October 28th.
The Bell Network is now up to 2 times faster, so you can get your likes up to 2 times faster. Or download something you love up to 2 times faster. You can get the latest score up to 2 times faster, or even set a new one up to 2 times faster. Canada's best national network is now up to 2 times faster.
Hey Canada, are you looking for a unique gift, something that's affordable and will stand out?